Hi there, Doug from unSkript, and in this video we're going to walk through a runbook that deletes all of your old EBS snapshots. So an EBS is the Elastic Block Store at AWS, and when you have instances, AWS automatically runs backups, and it's sort of like a time machine on your Mac. And what that means is the first time it does a backup, it does the full all of the stuff that's saved. And then on subsequent snapshots, it's only the files that have changed. Now, what can happen is, of course, you still have that full backup at the very beginning, and there's a bunch of obsolete stuff. And then in the second snapshot, there'll be some obsolete stuff. And in the third snapshot, there'll be obsolete stuff. And eventually, we're still paying for all of that storage that we have. And after a while, we don't need that old data from those old snapshots. We really only care maybe about the snapshots for the last 30 days. And so this runbook, which is pre-installed in the open source version of unSkript, will delete your old snapshot. So let's see what we have here. We've got three input parameters. The first one is the region, the AWS region. So if you specify this, the runbook will only look in that region for old snapshots. You could also just give it a list of snapshot IDs and it'll delete those. In this case, I'm not giving it either of those. I am just giving the threshold of 30 days. And what this is going to do then is it's going to go through every single AWS region, collect all of the snapshots that are over 30 days old, and then delete them. So let's walk through that. Okay, so here's the runbook. The first step is it's verifying the input. So it's just looking at those parameters. And if there is no region, it just goes through and it grabs every single region inside AWS. And so when this is completed, you'll see there's a really long list of all the AWS regions. That's how that works. Now it's going to find the old snapshots. So what it's doing here is we can look at the configuration. It's using my admin credentials, and it's using an iterator to go over every single region that's been stored in the region variable. And so that's the list of 27. So it iterated through all 27 AWS regions to collect all of the old EBS snapshots. So then what we did is we've got that list, and what we're doing is we're just creating a list to make it a little bit easier to use, deleting out some of that other, just collecting the data that was output and making it pretty so that it's easy to use further along. So here's our list, and there's, I think, 221 of them, right? It's a really long list. We had a lot of old snapshots, and, what will be interesting to see is day over day how much our EC2 costs went down by deleting these. And so that will be probably not part of this video, but we'll put it in the description below, how much money we saved when we deleted these old EBS snapshots. All right, so now we have this long list, and then the last step of this runbook, and it iterated through that list. It iterated through the list 221 times, and so it needs to know the region, it needs to know the snapshot ID, and so it's like, this one's gone, that one's gone, this one's gone, that one's gone, right? And so what happens when you delete an old snapshot is it only deletes the bit that's obsolete. So, if there's a section that in that oldest snapshot that's still good, it will be moved to the last snapshot that is still saved for that instance. You don't actually lose any of your old data. We're just deleting that obsolete data that we no longer need. And by doing that, we're going to reduce our storage costs at AWS and save ourselves some money. So this is run, and you can see it ran 221 times. It took a little while to run this. What I think we'll probably start doing is just schedule this so that it runs once a week. And so then we're only deleting, the snapshots that are between 30 and 37 days old. And we're not going to do 200. We'll probably have like 30 or something that we're going to be deleting every single week. But by doing that, we're going to reduce our cloud costs because we don't need those old snapshots. We can just get rid of them. And it'll save us some money. So last step we're going to do is now let's run. If we run this again to filter the old snapshots, we should probably not have any. Or if we do, it's something that's just triggered in the last couple minutes since I last ran this runbook. So let's see what happens. I'm going to run it. I'll pause the video and then come back to see what we've got. Okay, so now it has run through all 27 regions for AWS. Let's see how many snapshots there are. So we'll just create the list here. And we can see the list is a lot shorter. I'm counting 12 or 13 snapshots here. These may have been ones that just haven't been completed yet. Like I think when you ask AWS to do 200, it might just take a little bit of time. Or these might be new ones that have arrived since I ran it, because I ran it about 3 hours ago. So maybe these are new old snapshots that have appeared. But anyway, as you can see, we went from 220 to like 13. It'll be really interesting to see what this does to our AWS cloud costs day over day, which I will put in the notes below. Thanks for watching. If you're really interested in trying out this or some of our other cost optimization runbooks, check out unSkript. We're at unSkript.com. It's free and open source. We have a Docker install that you can run locally on your machine, which is what I'm showing here. And we also have a free trial that you can run in the cloud. Thanks for watching.